Hello, and thank you so much for taking the time out to listen. Today, I title this message, Irrational People. Ooh, trying to reason, huh? With someone who's irrational? Some of you all, you know the irrationalists, right? That person could be in the family. That person could be out on the street. You could have overheard a conversation. And you're like, oh my goodness. The irrationalist is a person who acts or behaves irrationally, okay? This is a person who has irrational beliefs. They're illogical, they're absurd. We can go on and on. When there's proof, though, when there's factual proof, when you do a survey and everybody in the room sees, hears, experiences, even experts are like, yes, there is definitely truth to that. That's not irrational, that is rational, okay? Satan has some individuals that are calling rational, irrational, and irrational, rational. He's got some minds all twisted up. Unreasonable people who are filled with all sorts of interesting things in their bodies. And things are counteracting. There's some strange thinking going on. And so when you call some things out, when you say, okay, what you just said is illogical. Let's look at facts. Let's look at scientific data. Let's look at just what's in front of us. And yet the person will still say, oh no, what you're saying is baseless. Oh no, you're such a fool. No, I beg to differ. When we have evidence and proof, when there was no way that a person was able to tamper with, there was no way for a person to do something to cause a different result. It's just information, or it's proof right there. There is no baseless or unreasonable information being dispensed. This is what we see. This is what we know. This is what has happened. We've got experts. We've got witnesses. We've got everything. And yet we still got fools in the camp. Because you see, when a person is convinced in his or her mind that they don't want to believe evidence and proof, all you got is a fool to argue with. And I don't have time for fools. I don't have that much time on this planet to be arguing with fools. You see, go out there and pull up the grass. Go out there and look up at the sky. Go out there and allow the wind to blow your hair. And you can continue to scream until you're blue in the face that no one created it. It just appeared one day, thousands and thousands of years ago. I don't have time to sit up there and have those types of arguments. Some of you all, you need to get to that place with some of your family members and friends, partners, husbands, wives, whoever. I'm not going to continue to have these discussions because all it does is make me angry. It makes you angry. We're just not getting anywhere. At a workplace, you're having a conversation. The data says this. The data says that. Okay. Somebody needs to prove that the data is accurate. Turns out that the data was incorrect because man plugged in something wrong. Or man's tool didn't work. Or woman, she didn't know what she was doing when she put the system in place. Okay, so then that explains why the data is skewed. But now everything is fixed. And there is no funny business going on. And there's evidence and proof that there's no funny business going on. Now what? You got some fools that still not going to trust the data. Nope. You see? Proverbs 1:7, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. Fools despise wisdom and instruction. We got fools in the church who despise wisdom. Why you show up? Oh, I just want to network. I just want to, learn a few things and then be out. I could tell because the way you're talking, you don't like wisdom, because wisdom is cutting. Wisdom exposes. Wisdom is going to show you that you have made your share of foolish decisions in your life. That's why some people stay away from the church, because they know that people are going to see through them. The demonic knows that church is not a place for his minions, for his followers. So he's not going to encourage folks to go, whether online or offline. Fools despise instruction at the workplace. Do this, and this. I don't want to do all that. I'm going to just take a shortcut. Okay, I guess you want to take a shortcut out that door. But God gave me this job. How you figure God gave you a job that you don't want to follow instructions? You see, God gives many things, including jobs, right? But the Lord can give and he can also take away when we say and when we do foolish things. 1 Corinthians 2:14, the natural person does not accept the things of the Spirit of God, for they are folly to him. And he's not able to understand them because they are spiritually discerned. Now let's go there. Let's go into the spiritual realm a bit, because I know there are fools that every now and again like to come on my channel and they don't know what I'm talking about at times. God, he has a way of scrambling up some things where everybody else in the room understands but that one. That's because that message wasn't meant for that one. Okay? So in the spiritual realm, we see the demonic. We see that the demonic is oppressing individuals. We see that there are individuals that are suffering all sorts of issues, whether it's a physical ailment, a mental one, but there's a lot going on. Whether they are primarily responsible for it or those issues that have arisen, someone else put those issues on them. Either way, we know there's issues. So in the spiritual realm, we're praying. We're asking that the Lord will just come in and bring about some healing from the top of that person's head to the soles of their feet. We're also asking for deliverance, that whatever has that person bound spiritually, mentally, physically, that God will release. Okay? But the person becomes irrational because they can't understand what's happening. They start questioning some things that we can't even answer. So then that's when they call us stupid or an idiot or dumb. Well, I can't answer that. But you're the one who started this, or you're the one who prayed about it, or you're the one. Yeah, but there's some things that I'm not going to be able to answer because God, he created you. He knows what you're doing and what you're not doing. Lord Jesus. Some people, they need science for everything. There's some things in this world that even scientists are baffled by. Best wishes. Good luck, as some people like to say, which there's no such thing. Luck. Okay. So when we sit down and we really ponder on these things, hoping and wishing and luck and all this other stuff, and, wanting what's best for an individual, but yet they're pushing back and they're calling you irrational, illogical, unreasonable, and whatever else they want to call you. We don't argue, we keep it moving. As I said before. There's behaviors that are irrational. Why does he walk around like that? Why does she do that with her hands, with her mouth? Even the doctors are just, I don't know. So they'll find a label and they'll place a label on it. Then later on, found out that the label is incorrect. So that person was medicated with the wrong medicine for something that a doctor just wanted to look like he knew, but he really didn't know. We got individuals who, they're very silly about the things that they say and do. And they want people to co-sign on some things. Why should we co-sign on silly? As I said in another audio, I don't have that kind of time, once again, to be entertaining fools. Because I know there's a certain type of individual for each message that the Lord is reaching. My channel isn't for everybody. The audio messages are not for everyone. If I get too many views on a particular audio, I'm like, okay, that is a subject matter that maybe we need to delve deep about. That's a subject matter that is possibly quite popular right now, until it's not. So you look for reasons as to why things are the way they are. You look for reasons as to why a person communicates in the way that they communicate. And sometimes you find out what those reasons are. God will even show you those reasons. So once he shows you, now what do you do with the information? If you're a compassionate person, you're going to consider what they're going through, the reason why they can't explain things in the way they want to explain. Maybe they're not educated on certain subject matter. Maybe they are educated on certain subject matter, but their hands are tied because of algorithms or because of handlers or because of any number of things. You see? So irrationalists can be difficult. They can be argumentative. They can be confrontational. They can be hard to work with. Okay? And sometimes you do have to cut them off because I don't have the patience, as I said, or time. Right? So you pray, though, that if you do have to deal with a person who has maybe irrational speech or irrational behavior for a time anyway, that God blesses you with the patience to deal with that person. And I'll tell you, with irrational people, it's better to be quiet as much as possible. Because sometimes if they talk long enough, they're going to hear themselves say something foolish. And then that's where you can come in and you can go, yeah, about what you just said. I'm glad you see that what you said was not accurate. You see? We're going to continue on this journey of examining all these different types of people and how we're going to go about dealing with them as the Lord sees fit, or not deal with them. Not every person you're going to be able to have that logical dialogue. And so, like Jesus, we move on to the next house. We dust our feet off, our sandals off, and on to the next one. I thank you as always for taking time out of your schedule to listen. You've been listening to YouTube, NM Enterprise 7. Feel free to like, subscribe, comment, and thank you for your giving. Blessings to you.